So it is no secret that we love building with framing lumber.
And this console table is no exception because it's built with only 6 2x6 boards, which costs under $40 in lumber.
So we're gonna call this the $40 6-board console table.
Creative, just like that.
Let's build it. You can do it. Oh my wow. I would have actually cut you.
Hope you got that magic, Jeffrey.
All right, the very first, I think I was running as I said that. All right, guys, the very first step to building this console table is gonna be to plank our top. Now, these are 2x6 boards that we've ripped down to 3.5 inches. We've also added 1.5 inch pocket holes down 3 of these 4 boards.
And we may get a lot of questions asking, why did you use 2x6 boards when none of the boards are 5.5 inches wide? I did that because it saves money. I only had to get 6 2x6 boards, and I was able to get the 3.5 inch boards and the 2-inch boards cut from each board. So it saved money.
There we go. So here we go. What we're gonna be doing is attaching these 4 planks together using 2.5 inch pocket hole screws.
So planking this is the same process that we do with all of our plank tops. We've got 1.5 inch pocket holes drilled into 3 of the boards along the whole side, and we're using 2.5 inch pocket hole screws to attach. So I've got 2 in, and I'm gonna work my way down all of the boards. I'm gonna get Whitney to help me, and we're gonna finish this really quick.
Time lapse.
All right, so we have the top completely planked, and now we're gonna build the legs separately, so we're gonna put this aside.
Okay, let's haul it off. Tabletop is done, and now we're moving on to building our leg pieces. So we're gonna be building 2 identical ones, and Ash, take it away.
So we have cut a 10-degree angle at the end of each of these leg pieces. What that does is when the table's sitting, it gives a nice little angle to the leg base. So we've got those cut, and we are going to add 1 2x that we've already cut, and we're gonna attach these with spack screws.
Hey guys, you don't have to remember all these measurements. Just download the free plans. It's gonna be in the post below. We'll add a link. Okay, Ash, show us what you're doing. She doesn't know what she's doing, guys.
All right, so I've made sure that I've got my legs facing the same way, just so, you know, you don't mess up, find out too late. And I've already marked 5.25 inches where it's gonna attach. That is on the free printable plan, so you don't have to remember that. And I need spack screws. So I've got the wood glue, and I'm setting it 5.25 inches from the bottom. And I'm attaching with wood screws. I'm gonna do 2 so that it doesn't turn while the glue's drying. And we've got a trick that we're gonna show you at the end of this that will hide these screws.
So make sure you sink your screws in enough to where they're not sticking out on the edge.
And we're gonna attach on the other side. This is a super simple console table, and it's got a few little miter cuts, which is great for beginners. You can get your practices with your miter cuts because they're very basic and very easy.
Now, Ash, if somebody didn't want to rip their boards, could they also build this with like 2x4s and 2x2s?
Yep, if you don't have a table saw, you can use 2x4s and you can use 2x2s to build the entire piece.
That's amazing.
All right, so we've got one kind of leg assembly done. We just need to attach the top part now.
Let's do it.
So now we've got this part of the leg assembly done, and we're gonna attach it to these 2x2s, and we've drilled 1.5 inch pocket holes into the back side of these legs, and we're gonna attach them with wood glue and 2.5 inch pocket hole screws.
Alrighty.
Okay, this is gonna be a little tricky. If you have an extra hand, that's great for you.
But it's not super heavy, so.
No, once you get the first one in, it's easy.
There you go.
Okay, first leg assembly is done. We're gonna do some cute little additions right there to hide those screws.
Awesome.
All right, 2 leg assemblies are done. Looking pretty good, and now we're gonna attach these to the tabletop.
Awesome. I think it's an awesome twice.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Stand by.
Do, 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 do. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr.
Awesome.
So I am marking 3 3/4 because that's going to be where we line these legs up on the underside of our tabletop. Is underside a correct word?
Underside's correct.
The bottom side, if you will. All right, I've got my first leg in place, and we are going to be attaching these using 2.5-inch fat screws and wood glue. And we're just gonna go through that top piece and into the bottom, just like that, guys. Simply stated, just like that. One moment, please. Sorry about that.
Now, all of the YouTube haters can call us idiots.
That's right.
We don't know how to use drills.
And we're gonna get a few more in there, and this baby ain't moving. Now we're measuring and cutting for the long runner. These are 10-degree cuts, and so we've started by making 1 cut right here. We're holding it in place and marking where our other cut needs to be.
If you don't have a shaving sister to help you, you can use a face clamp to hold one end like we've done right there.
See? Holding in place. Love these things.
And we will add a link in the description box below for that face clamp. It is one of our favorite accessories in the shop. Got a little bit of wood glue, and I'm centering it. And then I'm gonna follow up on the other side. These are gonna be covered, so it's fine to have these screw holes. Truth be told, they weren't gonna be covered, and then Whitney had a bright idea before we started building, so now they're gonna be covered. Nice.
And it'll just add a little flair.
We love flair.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so I've marked center on this table top, and I know that I want my board, do I want them to come center and touch each other? No.
You don't have to. I mean, it's kind of up to you. Ashley's kind of designing this as we go, guys.
Sorry. I think I'm gonna go 3 inches apart. So
Okay.
I'll go 1.5 and there. So I know I want my boards to hit, let's make it an even 23. So we're gonna go 23 inches is where I'm going to have these boards stop in the middle. So I'm going to take this long board that I have, and I'm just gonna mark for my first miter. All right, so I've made my first cut. I did it right on the line, and I'm gonna put it up to the mark where I want it to start. And
You're not laying flat.
I'm gonna lay it flat. Okay, and then I'm gonna mark right where it hits this board. And that's when we say measure and cut as you go, that's exactly what we mean. I'm gonna take this over to the miter saw, line my blade up, and make the cut. And it's gonna be the same degree as this one, I'm pretty sure.
You're so smart. Okay, so we are gonna be attaching these using those same spack screws. So what I'm gonna do is add a glob of wood glue, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and add it to both ends. Guys, where is the glue bot when you need it? Ours is little.
Ours is
Dried
dried
up
out
right
because
now.
we took the lid off of it.
Just dried up, Ashley. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that like that to make it easier later. I'm finding my line that we drew, get centered, and then I'm using my spack screws, and I'm gonna go in straight. You can see I'm going in at an angle into my top.
Like a glove.
Okay, like a glove, and I can add one more in just a
Yeah.
second because I don't want it to be too tight. But now I'm gonna come right here. So on this screw, these are a bit longer. I'm gonna come in from the top. And then I'm gonna go back in with one more down on this side right here, just to get it good and awesome. And those are, that's not moving.
Not moving.
That's not moving. That side down, one more to go. We cut a few of these little doodads. We're gonna call them doodads. So they're just the end pieces of that 2x2 board, and they're cut at that same 10-degree angle. And we're just gonna add a little bit of glue to this, and then we're gonna put it in place right there. And it serves two purposes. It covers up our screw holes, and it also just adds a little bit of shiny flair.
Always gotta have a shiny flair.
That's right. Leave a little bit of shiny flair everywhere I go. And these are cut at 1 3/4 inches each, and we're attaching them with 2.5-inch finish nails and wood glue. And we've got ourselves a cute little shanty piece.
So now we're gonna do another one on the other end, and then we're gonna do some squared ones right here to come off of the ends to cover those.
Let's get it done. All right, tell us what you're doing.
I am attaching the final squared off blocks. These do not have a miter cut on them, on these ends right here, and they're just gonna be flush with the legs and flush with the little cross runners. And I'm using 2.5-inch finish nails for that too.
It just adds so much flair, guys. Look how cute that is. Love it. Okay, this turned out so cute. All we have to do now is get this flipped over, get a coat of paint on it. I cannot wait to see it in your house.
It's gonna be so cute, and I love how quick and easy it was to build.
I know it. Let's get it done. I love this table so much. It is so cute in your living room.
It's the perfect height for the back of that couch, and I just think that it adds so much character to the room.
And I love how airy the bottom is. Like, it's super traditional, super cute, but it's still so open and airy. It's such a cute table.
And those little blocks at the end really make it look more rustic. I love it.
Whose idea were those?
That was your idea.
Bye. Y'all be sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss another video or another console table.
Happy building.
And I think it actually would be cute. I think it would actually be cute.
Actually.
Instead of what you had planned originally.
Oh, I don't need it on. I'm an idiot. That's all I needed.